hopefully finish this book on this trip.
In a busy week, right with how did I do so? It is a beautiful day in Burnaby BC. It's actually the nicest day that we've had since we've been here. It's the first day that it's not raining, and it's actually not even that cold out, all things considered. And oh my gosh, I'm exploring the nature trail on our campground for the first time, and it is just absolutely beautiful. Welcome to my writing road trip. I'm so excited to have you. I'm not quite sure what I'm calling this series yet. Writing road trip, writing retreat road trip. Essentially, I'm going on a road trip across the country and eventually the continent, and I want to write my book while I'm out here. And I want to take you all along with me for that. I've worked really hard to set myself up in a way where this could be possible for me. I'm also just really fortunate to have a few life circumstances that lined up, which I'll talk about in a moment, which has allowed me to do this and be able to come to you from the other side of the country and share my travel journey with you. Like, how could you see this and not be totally obsessed with it? It's so beautiful here, I can't get over it. So yes, I arrived in Vancouver the day before yesterday. It's my very first time in British Columbia. It's my first time being further west than Alberta, which I did like 7 years ago. So I haven't been on this side of the country in so long and never this far out. It is absolutely beautiful here. It's definitely very wet. It's been raining like every single day, but I don't hate the rain, so that's okay. The whole reason this is even possible for me is because my dad has decided to pursue this road trip as his retirement plan. Seeing Canada is something he has always wanted to do, and since he's retired now, he took the leap. He sold his house. I don't know if you can hear the train. There's a train nearby. Now we are jet setting across the country. Even though I love camping and I love road tripping, or at least being a passenger on a road trip, I would not be able to drive an RV. I would not be able to do all the things needed to maintain an RV. My dad has done so much research and he does so much work. He also is like a professional driver. He drove for work and he drove school buses as well. So he's used to driving big, huge loads. And he's the one who's taking care of everything on the logistic RV side, which I'm very fortunate. My dad has always been the biggest supporter when it comes to me chasing my dreams. And so I'm just so proud of him for taking the leap and chasing his own dreams. He's always wanted to see the Rockies, always wanted to see Canada, and now he's doing it. And I just feel so fortunate that I'm able to do it alongside with him. I will say you get a lot of train noises around here because there's a track right back there. I'm currently across the street from our campground at the Burnaby Lake National Park. I think it's a national park. Burnaby Lake Park, whatever kind of park it is. It is absolutely beautiful. The campground we are staying at is called the Caribou RV Park in Burnaby. It's got full hookups for RVs and trailers. They can accommodate any size motorhome, and they also have tent camping. It's a really nice space. They have all kinds of amenities, like a games room with some old-fashioned arcade games. There's a little fitness room. There's even a pool and a hot pool, which basically a hot tub, but only like one jet. I think that's why they have to call it a hot pool, but it is very hot, and even the pool is quite warm. And I'm saying that as someone who is very whiny when it comes to cold pools, but it was fantastic and we're having a great time here. Writing has been slow moving for me this month. In my defense, this is just a really loaded time of year for me anyways, and I've been super busy between moving, between getting logistically set up to leave the province, my home province, Ontario, and traveling. And I also went to the Eras tour, which is like a really great thing to be too busy with. I do think this is going to be the best draft yet. Draft 7 was really exciting because I finally had my characters developed enough to have them start interacting with each other. And the thing with Draft 8 is that I'm actually finding out the depths of their relationships to one another, like the romantic relationships, the sibling relationships, the complicated coworker-y relationships. Coworker is like a really loose term for it, but you'll understand when you read it. So the changes that have to happen in Draft 8 are really big and really important, and I'm kind of intimidated by it, and I think that's why I've been avoiding the project. I've been avoiding JAR so hard that I actually started a brand new project. Dun dun dun. For the very first time, it's a romance project. I have never ever written a romance project other than like fan fiction when I was in middle school, high school. So that's very exciting. I think I'm gonna call it Project Zombie. All I really know about it is that it's going to take place either during or immediately after a zombie apocalypse. And it's a romance. It's not a romance with a zombie. It's not like Warm Bodies, although I love that book. I actually haven't read the book. I've seen the movie. I love that movie. I really want to read the book. But it's not like that. It's just two non-zombie people falling in love during a zombie apocalypse. So that's what I've been working on instead of Project JAR because I'm avoiding. But my goal for this week is to actually sit down and start working on JAR. I also want to reread some of my old drafts because as much as I do think my writing improves with every draft, there are some gems in there that I want to go salvage. This is the coolest tree I have ever seen. It looks like something straight out of a dystopian sci-fi book. It's a few days later and I am finally sitting down to write. It's been a busy week between filming and starting this series for long form videos. And I also officially launched my Substack newsletter yesterday. So yesterday I was busy promoting it and posting about it. Those are the same thing. Anyways, you get it. It's been a busy week why did I do this to myself? Write with Ren Wise. I have been working on my very first long form video in over a year, working really hard on that. That's this video that you're watching right now. I've also been working on launching my Substack, and I actually sent out my very first Substack newsletter yesterday. I'm really excited about it. I'm really proud of it. I also shared that with my Write with Ren community, but also with my family and friends, which was like a big leap of faith. I don't know, not that I would expect them to be anything but supportive, but you know, sharing your work with people you know is just so anxiety inducing, or at least it is for me. So I'm really proud of myself for putting myself out there. The response has been incredible. If you haven't read my Substack newsletter, I will put a link in bio where you can go directly to my Substack and read all of the archived posts. And if you sign up, you can also make sure that you get the next newsletter sent directly to your inbox. But today I need to get back to creative writing. So that's what we're working on today. Got my laptop. I'm sitting in the lounge here at the Caribou RV campground, and it is just so cute, and I love the vibe. I love the like nature artwork all over the place. It's just such a cozy spot. So I'm very excited to write here. Today I am going to be compiling the notes I've been taking over the last few days or like couple of weeks. I've been getting ideas for my story and just putting them in my notes app. So I'm just going to be transferring that over to Aeon Timeline. I don't actually know if that's how you pronounce it. I'll write it here in texts. But Aeon Timeline has been a really useful tool as far as planning and making sure that my themes are consistent throughout the 3 acts of the story, making sure that, I don't know, honestly, I haven't gotten that far in the planning stages thus far, but it's really helped me so far. One thing that I've been really struggling with, honestly, this entire year is like getting the theme down pat. Like I really just want a solid theme that is consistent. I think that's like the heart of any good story, is knowing exactly what your theme is and being able to represent it throughout your characters, your plot lines, your settings, throughout every aspect of your story. I think that when you look at like the best stories out there, they're stories that really connect with their theme and they know intimately what their theme is. And I've like kind of known my theme, but like not really, not as in depth and not as specifically as I would like to. So Aeon Timeline has like a whole section for your theme and writing down your themes, and also writing down where your themes appear across different plot lines. So I really like that. So that's what I'm working on today. I'm developing the dynamics between my 3 main characters. One big difference with draft 8 is that in all of my previous drafts, I really had the main character going through the story alone, but I realized it's a lot more interesting if she has other characters with her, if she has other characters that she can talk to, and you can see her reaction to things based off of how she interacts with the people around her as it's happening. And it just makes it more interesting. I think that the reader will care more about the secondary characters, the other characters, if they actually get to see those characters on the page rather than just see my main character thinking about the other characters. So yeah, a big difference in draft 8 is I have 2 characters that are coming along for the ride, which means I really want to make sure I have the dynamics between the 3 of them down pat. So that's what I'm working on today. Time to get some writing done. I have like less than an hour. I have about 50 minutes before I need to head back because I work at 1:15. It's currently 12:05. So yeah, I have like 45 to 50 minutes to write. So I'm so intimidated. I'm scared it's gonna be hard. It's okay. Only way through it is through it. So let's do it. Forgot to say this, but I managed to write about 1,000 words of notes, which I'm super happy with for 45 minutes of work. I feel like all of the information really was up here. I've been ruminating on it for several weeks now. I just needed to get it all on the page in a way that was organized and helps it be not so overwhelming. It's a couple of days later, it's Friday now, and we are getting ready to leave, which is so sad. This was such a fun spot. I really enjoyed our time here. I'm standing outside so you can get a better idea of what the weather has actually been like while we've been here. Quite rainy, quite wet. I mean, this is to be expected. We are right next to the ocean, so I guess wet is just how it is here. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you loved this first installment of our travel vlogs, and I really hope to see you next time. We're on our way to Gibson's, which is not too far from here, but you do need to take a ferry to get there. So I'm sure there's going to be some very cool footage in the next vlog. Make sure you check it out and let me know if you've ever been in Burnaby and what we missed. We definitely didn't do too much exploring, so I'm sure there's 1,000,001 things that we could still do when we come back to Burnaby. So please let me know what those things should be. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, I'm Ren. I write, I love writers and traveling, and I'll see you next time. Bye. I swear I just heard a fish jump. welcome. He's always been such a strong proponent of me chasing my dreams. People are walking and hookups.